Sup. I'm reading for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, and these are the top 5 cards of July 16, 2015 format. God damn it, Konami, why couldn't you just put it as July 2015? Anyway, these are the cards I think will be the most used, or see the most play, or be the most viable. These are my top 5, so make sure in the comment section to leave your top 5 down below. And with that said, let's get on to this list. Alright, my number 5 pick, starting this whole list off, is Denko Sekka. And the reason it's Denko Sekka is because we're still in the big back row format. So having Denko Sekka at use makes it very viable for this entire format. Because, let's be honest, regardless how you see Heavy Storm and whether or not it should come back, different topic for a different video, when it comes down to it, we are still experiencing a lot of back row. It's ever growing in recent history. So Denko Sekka basically allows you to freeze that and then make your play. Not every deck can play Denko Sekka, hence it's number 5 because you have to give up your normal summon for it. I personally love Denko Sekka in the idea of, hey, you don't get to play your back row, you get punished for setting 5 back row. And that's how I guess that's how I always view Heavy Storm, is if your opponent was, I don't know, kind of dumb enough to set all 5 when they know Heavy Storm, is a thing, unless they have some kind of protection for it, then they deserve to be punished for the play. And that's always been a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is punishing your opponent for a play. I feel Denko Sekka is a very healthy card in that same aspect, is you can punish your opponent for playing that way. I know some of you disagree, that's perfectly fine, but it just, in my eyes, that's how it works, and that's how I like it. So Denko Sekka, number 5 spot, I do think it's going to have playability this whole. My number 4 pick is Lose One Turn, because this honestly is pretty much the best floodgate anti-meta card in recent history. I know some of you just absolutely despise when I use the word floodgate. It's a definition created by Yu-Gi-Oh! Players to define something that basically says, pay $20 and you can go ahead and make your fucking move. That's pretty much the premises of Lose One Turn. In all seriousness though, if you don't have MST, then it's a pain in the ass. Lose One Turn basically is like a 1-turn skill drain, so when your opponent special summons a monster, it goes to defense mode. This allows decks like Toons to actually have playability because they attack direct, they take time to set up. So if your deck takes time to set up, you can play Lose One Turn, and you could just poop on your opponent. The only downside is Lose One Turn, and why it is pretty fucking balanced, is you have to have only normal summoned monsters. You can't have special summoned monsters. You can't have them at all. Which means, if it's already up, then you can. But the thing is, you're going to have to play this prior to that, which keeps it a little bit balanced in my eyes. So Lose One Turn is definitely something that's going to help this whole freaking format. It's something that will see playability, and it's definitely something that is powerful enough to make its way onto this list. The number 3 spot is pretty much, in my eyes, one of the most underrated hand traps to date. Now, some of you will disagree with that because of the recent price rise to $80. I know some of you will disagree with that. Ghost, Ogre, Snow, Rabbit is my number 3 pick for one of the top 5 cards of this whole format. And my reasoning behind it is, when things like Lose One Turn are being played, and things of that sort continuously are going to be put on the board, you can play the Ghost Ogre. Now, timing is crucial with this card, and it's also part of the reason why a lot of people don't really care for it, or don't really see it being worth it. And I can respect that in that aspect. But this card does have a lot of use to stop your opponent's things. Things that affect Velar and Maxi can't really handle on their own. Things that your Trap Sun can't handle, or things that you just want to get off the board really quickly, Ghost Ogre Snow Wrap is your best friend. Besides being level 3, Psychic and Light with E-Tele support that gets you Anti-Sacred Wyvern for OTKs, but people seem to forget about that, or that Lightsworn Michael that I'm always advocating for, because honestly it is a fucking great level 7 Synchro to use. Ghost Ogre by itself is a solid card. It's got a lot of use during this whole upcoming format, and I think as time goes on, you're going to see that more and more and more and more. I think right now we haven't seen the full potential of the card, and in due time we will. We kind of saw this with Max C. If you guys were around when 6 Samurai were brand new, people didn't want Max C. They were being sold for like $15 as a secret rare, and then they skyrocketed to like $80. So it's kind of the same thing with Ghost Ogre Snow Wrap in a way. So number 3 spot, my number 2 spot is Trishulia Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Now, if you feel I'm saying it wrong, do not correct me. Just deal with it. Enough said. This card was pretty damn powerful when it was first released, to the point that, well, Konami banned it about when it wasn't relevant, because Konami wanted to make all the money in the world off it. Let's be honest, though. It's not nearly as powerful as it once was, but dropping it on your opponent on the right time will still cause them to lose the game. Dropping in the right time will still make a great comeback for you. Getting 3 cards out the way from 3 different sections of, well, the whole game state is crucial. Not every deck is really hurt by Trishula like it used to be, but still. Let me put it in retrospect. If I rip 1 from your hand, and you have crucial cards in your hand, your setup cards, and I remove 1 from your field, being the biggest threat on the field, and I remove 1 from your graveyard that you may want to use later on, you are now effectively hurt by losing 3 cards from my 1. Yeah, I gave up 3 monsters to bring this son of a bitch out, but still. Honestly, I think that we'll see more as time goes on. We'll definitely see it being used a hell of a lot more. I don't think it's going to be, like, to the point it goes back on the ban list. I think at 1 it's perfect. But I definitely think we're going to see it a lot more. It's definitely something that you want to be on the lookout for. Because when you drop that effect filler with those 2 level 4 monsters or that glow up bulb, you go straight into Trishulia. Cleaforts. Anyway, in my eyes, the number 1 most important card of this whole format will be Effect Veller. And I know some of you are probably like, what? He says Effect Veller of everything in the world. He says Effect Veller. It honestly has the most use currently. And it's not because it's getting a reprint. Effect Veller is simply this. I'm going to negate your monster effect. It comes straight from my hand. It's unpredictable at times. And everything that comes out of the extra deck can go to hell. There are very few cards that will dodge Effect Veller effectively. So it's definitely something that can stun the hell out of your opponent. When you're not using it for that reason, it's also a level 1 light tuner, so you can actually bring out Ancient Sacred Wyvern, or you could bring out, I cannot remember for the love of God, Trishulia and Armades, there we go. Both crucial cards to stopping your opponent's plays, still to this day. Effect Veller is definitely the quintessential best card of this format right now in my eyes, because it just nullifies your opponent's plays. The only thing that I wish Effect Veller could do, but it can't, is negate stuff in the Pendulum Zone. Hey, that's what we have Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit on the list for. Just saying. But I personally see Effect Veller as being the most useful card right now in the game. It's pretty much one of the first things I'll go to when I'm building a brand new deck. And the reason I say that is because so many monster effects floating around. Yeah, Fiendish Chain works to a point, but if I'm not playing Fiendish Chain, I'm playing something that can use Effect Veller. I'm going to use Effect Veller effectively. I'm going to use it for level 5 Synchro, level 7, or I'm going to use it to go into Trishulia. Then I'm definitely going to want to put it in my deck. Or if my opponent has a monster that's going to stop my plays, and I need something from the hand that's a little less predictable than Fiendish Chain, then I'm definitely going to go Effect Veller. I honestly think Effect Veller, I will mention Fiendish Chain also being up there, but I think monster negation in general is pretty much the most crucial thing of this whole format. Anyway, let me know what your top 5 cards of this entire format are. Any kind of tier. Could be meta, could be casual, whatever you think your top 5 are. Your top 5 is crucial and important to me, in all honesty. And anyway, I'll be back for another top 5, which will be the top 5 underrated decks. I'm not sure if that's going up before this, or this is going up before that, but they're definitely going to be coming out like near each other. So check back for that, or check back for this video, I guess. Anyway, I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Thanks for watching. Make sure to rate, comment,